In today's video, guys, I'm gonna show you the best feature in Dragonheir Silent Gods. Honestly, it will rock your world if you haven't used it before. And this is one of the best QOL things I've ever seen in a game. And I'm not just simping for it, it's actually living to the expectations. A lot of you guys are constantly saying, Skratch, I'm tired to move gear from a character to another character. It gets tiring, it's annoying. Others are saying, Skratch, can you please make a list and on the side of the hero just put the gear sets. What should I use on them? Because I forget how to re-equip them once I'm gonna move the gear from them. And Dragonheir doesn't give you unlimited stamina, so you cannot farm gear for a freaking 100 champions, right? But they did came out with a very, very good solution, and it's been out for a few weeks now, guys. It's not something new from today. Some of you guys might be familiar with it, and you're making the most out of it, and probably you're gonna agree with me that is absolutely amazing, right? Like, let me know in the comments down below. How you may see, all of my characters are half naked, okay? Let me just put it like that. And I'm not talking about the naughty naked guys, because I can't see what you're thinking. But basically, they are missing gear. They are missing some sort of sets here and there. The whole idea here, guys, is that when we are trying to beat the content in the game, we kind of like want to equip our characters with the best gear to achieve the best results. It's very, very important, right? So it makes sense that because there is no silver cost in Dragonheir, we want to move the best gear to the best team to do the best job, basically. And that will involve us to move gear constantly. Now, let me just quickly show you one thing. I'm going to switch the element to fire because this is something that is still not memorized. If you go right here, so let's just say we're going to do the goblin. Head over to the run, and how you've seen, I've already changed the element because the game doesn't memorize the whole thing. This is the team. So he's missing gear, Dane. He's missing gear. He's missing gear. She's missing the runes, but she's missing the artifact. So do I need to go back and constantly re-equip these champions by go to upgrade and put the gear on? I can't remember what I had on them. No, guys. If you're gonna click right here, you see what is the little flag with the man? Basically, you have these presets here, okay? Some of you might know how they work, some of you might not. And oh my god, if you don't, you gotta start using them right now because, how I mentioned, it will rock your world. Basically, you're gonna make your presets for the teams. And you see I have Vortex, I have the Ancient Battlefield, the Grave of Wrath, I have the Fire Element, Radiance, Necrosis, Poison, Lightning, Frost, and all of these are part of the Otherworld events, but I gotta farm different bosses on daily basis. I gotta attack 6 bosses, okay? So I have 6 teams for those, plus dungeons, plus the goblins, plus the PvE team, etc. Now, how do I make it to use the best gear on all of these teams? Basically, let's just go, for example, at the Vortex. It will memorize your skills, your timing for the skills, exactly how you have them. But at the same time, it will memorize all the gear that you have equipped on the team. So how you're seeing it, guys, we have all these dots on the screen right now telling us that the gear is not equipped on the champions. You have 2 options, save or load. Now, if you are loading, basically you're gonna load all this missing gear on them. If you're saving, you're gonna save wherever you have right now on your heroes, which most probably is nothing considering how many red dots we're seeing on the screen. So let's just say we want to do the Vortex. You quickly go right here behind my big head is an equipment plan. You want to click on that. Let me just move my head, you see. You click on this, use and bang. Is going to bring your team fully loaded, guys. You see, they all have the gear that I need them to have for my Vortex. So my Vortex team is ready to rumble. But we are in the Goblins right now, Skratch. You don't want to do that. So I want to bring my Goblins team in, and not only that, they will memorize their builds because are different than the ones for the Vortex, even though they're kind of like similar champions. It will memorize the skill timing if you have, but it will memorize their positioning as well. So you're going to be able to go in and just like that, with a click of a button, you have your teams available built for wherever you guys want. For my Goblin team, I just want to have high attack on everybody. I don't really care about having much accuracy, except Frorbart, who's going to activate Sigrid. A bit of accuracy on Dane, but again, the Goblins themselves, they don't require 300 accuracy. So having a lot of damage on them is kind of like key, is what I want. If I'm going with the exact same team, because I am using pretty much the exact same thing for my PvE team. For the Feymender, I'm using it for just general campaign and stuff, I want to have a different build, a bit of accuracy on my Sigrid, because I want to use her against the Emerald Dragon. I want to use her against the Purple Dragon. You guys get the whole idea. So I have a different preset for that. And that's how easy it is to just swap them, guys, without having to go and constantly rebuilding champions every day, wasting so much time by doing things that you don't really enjoy as much. Because it's fun to do it 1, 2, 3 days. But after a while, you're going to be bored of constantly having to move your best gear from this team to the other team, and so goes on, you know? Then, of course, I think I have 11 created. You can create a maximum of 15. The only thing I'm hoping for the future is basically to bring in another 15 slots. That will literally be more than enough for everything that you might need to basically beat everything in the game. It's very important to have this setup, especially now with this new map, right? So we have the Otherworld event. Let's just go, for example, let's see what bosses we have here. We have the Radiance, and we have the Lightning. I don't think I've done the Lightning, so let's go there. At the moment, most of my gear is equipped on some of the champions you've seen in the Goblin. The whole idea is that for the Goblin, you want to have Executioner sets to deal a lot of damage. For bosses, you want to have Gambler sets. Now, how many Gambler sets can you have on your account, right? Like, I'm pretty unlucky with the gear, and I don't really have that many, you know? So right here, this is another team that I'm using, but I want to bring the team that I'm using, which is this one right here. And you see, all the gear is kind of like missing. I do have the runes equipped and stuff like this, but I want to load the team, man. Confirm to read the current Steam equipment plan records. Yes, please. Bring the gear on my heroes. And there we go. Equipment plan use, and my team is in the exact same positioning I left it before when I was doing the run. That's how easy it is. I'm not going to do an entire run, guys, because I want to show you how you can actually set up the team. Now, when you are building your characters, before you're moving to set up the team, you have a couple of different options. The very first option is by going here directly to characters and building your character, and then go and add them to a team preset and just save it, okay? So that's one of the options. Like, I'm going to put some random stuff on them. Don't build your champions how I'm doing it right here, okay? I'm literally just going to put random stuff on them because why not? So he's built, okay? Right now, I want to add him to my team, okay? So if I'm going to go to create a new team, let's just say I want to have a strong PvP team or a strong Frost team, okay? Because the other one that I have is not that good. So we're going to go right here. We're going to go to create, okay? And you're going to be able to drag and put champions in and out super easy. Even after you created the team, you can always just replace one. You don't have to create the whole thing. Just go at editing, remove one of the champion, bring the new one that you want in, and keep the rest as it is. You don't have to modify that. But for example, we brought him in. Then we're bringing this. Let's go for the right elements as well. Let's not be noobs. So we've made the team, and at the adjusted equipment plan, you may notice that one of my characters is loaded. This is saved as it is, but the rest are not. So here again, you have the other option of clicking on the characters, basically. Either you click from here and you go and you upgrade them, you bring the gear on them. You want to use this plan, so let's bring all the heroes here. You're going to put a setup however you guys feel like it. And now you can just go and one by one build all these champions. Now, there is a very important thing. Again, I'm going to do random. Do not copy these builds because they suck, okay? I'm just randomly chucking gear on them because why not? You're going to see this mark right here. That means that either they're missing something, either something is not the same as it used to be. So if you're going to click load, which you shouldn't do if you're modifying, okay? If you click load, it will bring back your old things that you had saved. What you want to do once you modify things intentionally is clicking on save. So right now, my Vorash is actually ready to rumble, okay? He has all the gear full. But if I was gonna click load, was actually going to replace the changes that I've done. Now, if you just wanna load the old things because you haven't updated nothing, make sure you click on load. It can be very annoying, I'm not going to lie. It can be very annoying when you are actually clicking on save instead of load and you're going to have to redo it again, you know? So just keep that in mind. This is kind of like a party trick. It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that. And you can just go from content to content to content and just swap builds like that. It's super easy. So for example, I want to go and do the elemental domain. Right here, I'm using my Radiance team, and basically the game saves your positioning from before. It keeps the same old team that you used on some of the content, especially dungeons. So you may notice right here, we have the time skill set active, but we have this mark showing us that the equipment is not the same. So what you can do is go to Radiance, which is the current team, okay, or just click on this and do load, and it's basically going to load your equipment. So now you are ready to rumble. You can do a run, and this works for everything except the regular PvE campaign. You're not going to have the option to select teams like that in there. So what I would suggest you to do is make a preset, name it PvE team or something like that. I have it named Cursed or Queen or something like that. I can't even remember. And go to a dungeon, click on this icon, load that team, and then go and continue the campaign. This will be game-changing in the next season when we're going to have the first 6 days of constantly resetting champions. If you're new, probably you don't know what I'm talking about, because either you missed it, but you should have that available and you should use it, okay? So it's a feature at the events where you can basically go and reset the champions, all the levels that you put in them, all the materials, get them back and make a new team. Now, usually when we were doing that before, the gear was just getting removed from them, okay? And that was pretty annoying to go and just constantly re-equip the champions with gear. Hopefully, this will actually work for that as well, because that will be game-changing. In the first 6 days, you want to reset those champions till they cry, basically. But that was all for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found it helpful. And let me know in the comments down below how many of you guys were already using this feature. Appreciate every single one of you. Peace.